What's up, YouTube? I'm going to be changing the spark plugs on this. This is actually a Subaru Forester, and the spark plug they're right here on the side. So you have the battery, and then on the side of the engine right here you have the spark plugs. Same thing on the other side. Come over. The plugs are down in here on the side. So to remove these plugs, the airbox have to come off. So this gets taken off, at least up to here, right here, and the battery has to come out. Now once we got the battery removed, then you have the coil right here, and this is a coil unplug, so the coil goes directly into the plug. You got the coil right here, so you got one coil, the second coil, and on the opposite side it's the same thing. 4-cylinder, so 2 coils each side. And this is got to remove the coil, which is 10 millimeter. But before we remove this, we got to undo the connector. And removing the connector is pretty easy. Just gonna push in on this tab right here, gonna push it in and pull the connector out. So I'm just gonna hold it like so, push in on the tab and unplug. Same thing for the one in the back. I remove the coil by going in with a extended ratchet, 10 millimeter. And these are not torqued super tight. And these just pop right out. That's what they look like. And this one appeared to be a little bit trickier to get out, but you could actually just bend it a little bit and pull it out. You see it flexes, so it's not gonna break or anything. And here you just got to go with a combination that works. So once you know the size of the spark plug, this one is a 14, but once you know the size, you go with some kind of flex. They actually have flex extensions that you could just curve and get in there. I don't have one of those, so I'm going with a wobble extension actually. So I'm just gonna go in, seat it by hand, make sure it fits. And another thing, they have dedicated spark plug sockets, and spark plug sockets, they have a rubber boot in there that sits over the spark plug. So once you back it out, you just pull everything out. When I'm working on vehicles like this where the plugs are in a tight spot, I don't like to use the spark plug sockets, or if I use those, I'll actually take the boot out, because sometimes what happens is you get the tool all the way in, and then when you try to pull it out, the extension gets separated, and then you get stuck with this inside, and you got to figure out how to get your extension back in to pull it out. So I like to go without the boot, get it on there. I'm gonna get my drive, line that up, crack that loose. Now this is when, after it comes loose, the rubber boot would hold on to the plug and you pull it right out. But like I said, in some cases the clearance is so small that sometimes the extension gets separated and everything stays inside. So I have another trick for that, but let me get to the one in the back. You see this extension is not going to work, so I have to go in with something else. I'll go in with a shorter extension. Once I get it in, get that on, I don't know if you could see that, but it's barely sticking out. Now I put another short one on, and now I could get my tool in there. Once I crack it loose, and I could back it out by hand. And I know I might get comments that's gonna say there's special tools for this, or all you gotta do is use a wobble extension and all type of stuff, but it's a lot of ways to do things. I show the method that I use. If that works for you, great. It worked for a lot of people. They let me know about it. Thank you guys for giving me your feedback. But you know, you're always gonna have those few comments that is telling you you're doing something wrong, so can't really help that. But just know, if you're gonna take on a job like this, use whatever tools you have. Just try to make sure it's the right tools to get the job done. Now my trick now is, I got a little hose right here. I don't know the size of it, but you could pick this up from Home Depot. And I just go in, and what I'm doing, I'm getting it on the top of the spark plug. And it comes out like that. It's pretty much almost like the same as a wobble extension, but it's just not sitting on this hex piece. It's sitting on the top of the spark plug. And I do the same for the one in the back. Got it. Comes out like that. And the best thing to do is, once you get it loose and you could back it out by hand with your tool, leave it in so that the threads hold it. So when you go in, it's easy to get this on. But when you take it off and have it sitting in there, then sometimes you're not gonna find the right angle to get this on. You gotta like feel around for it. So just leave it in a little bit, get that on, and then you twist it out. Here I got the new plug, and I do the same thing. Put my tube on it, my hose, and I'm just gonna go in. Gonna line it up, and I'm holding this end while I turn this end, so try to hold it straight and just twist it in. And you shouldn't feel any resistance twisting it in. It should just go in nice and smooth, just like this. You should get a lot of turns out of it, not just like 2 turns and then it stopped. You should get a lot of turns. See all those turns, finally stop, and I could pull that off. Now I could go in with the socket and I could torque it, and it's not a lot of torque. You could find the torque specs online. The other one, this one is a little more tricky. Gotta get it in. This is why we need something flexible, so we could get it in. Hold it same way, twist, and you could feel if it's not going in straight. If you feel that, you just back it out a little bit and twist again. Okay, so all the way in, I could feel it get tight. Go back in with my socket. That's good. Double check this one. That's good. Like I said, there are other ways to do it, but this is just the way I do it. Put the coils back in. bring my connectors back, plug them back in. You're gonna hear that click when it plugs in. Hear that click. That's it for this side. Now to remove the earbox is just 2 clips here. I got this one off already. Pop the other one off. Disconnect this clip. I've already loosened the hose clamp, and right in here is connected to this hose, and it's just a little opening that it snaps in. So I just want to pop it out, pull this up a little bit. Try not to pull too much. You're gonna hook on this wire. You want to get a plier to get in here, or a screwdriver to get in here, and it's 2 tabs, one at the bottom, one at the top. So you want to squeeze those 2 tabs. Get it on it like so. Squeeze and push, and it unplugs. Now after take off the first half of the box, down here at the bottom of the box there's a 10 mil. Pop this 10 mil out, and that 10 mil was straight down here. So in here there's another one. And this one is actually a nut. Out with this container. See the other 10. Now that the box is out, you could see the other coil. So the spark plug is behind that, and over here is the one in the back, and it's the same thing as the other side. Undo the connectors. Take the coil off, 10 millimeter, and the back one 10 millimeter. Take those out, and pretty much the same thing as the driver side. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.